So today, Roe v. Wade was overturned, um, which basically means that there's no more constitutional protection for people to be, or women, people, trans men too, to be able to to be able to get an abortion. Um, it's now going to be up to states individually. And to be honest with you, I know that I have a lot of conservative leaning people that are probably pro life, and I want you to like listen because I want to explain to you why I disagree with you and really try to get you to understand that this decision of restricting abortion access is really bad. It's just bad. So we're gonna talk about it, and hopefully you guys will listen. If you clicked off because you're like, no, I'm pro life and I don't want to hear it, then like you're just too sensitive. Just listen to what I have to say. You can disagree, but here's the thing. Okay, I understand the perspective. The pro-life I'm pro-choice, obviously. The pro-life perspective is, hey, listen, I want to advocate for these unborn children. I totally get it. The thing is, and I'm going to elaborate. The thing is that the only reason you care is because it makes you uncomfortable. But realistically speaking, once that baby's born, you don't care anymore. And I'm not trying to be mean, but that's the reality, man. It's just kind of the reality, right? So, like, here's the thing, right? For the most part, you have, like, conception. And conservatives care a lot from conception to birth. But after that, nobody really cares. And you might say, like, hey, listen, I do care. But, like, you don't vote in a way. Right, like conservatives are the ones who are like, okay. So we had an idea for something called a Head Start program. It would have cost like $1 billion. We spend like $700 billion a year on our military. It would have basically provided access to kids for Head Start for preschool, and all the data showed that kids who went to like preschool and these Head Start programs, they performed much better 10 years later from getting that Head Start. They had a higher chance of finishing high school and getting a job, etc. Conservatives didn't want to do it. Okay, conservatives are the ones that are usually against welfare programs that provide like help and access to privileged children. Right now, I understand welfare could be fixed, but and I do believe that we should have a conversation on how to change and fix our welfare program. But conservatives just say we need to cut it, which is going to have a negative impact. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Every successful country has robust welfare programs. Again, we could talk about reform. I agree. But realistically, like there is a direct correlation of welfare and success in a country, catching people before they fall to the bottom. All right. That's how we got out of our Great Depression. Like, I don't know how else to communicate this objective fact to you. When it comes to the ability to adopt, conservatives don't care. You might say, like, I wish that we could make it easier to adopt. But how do you vote? Do you guys make that a primary issue? Nobody really cares. You say it when it's in proximity of you. Like, I'm not trying to be rude because I really understand that like your heart's in the right place, but like you're the kind of person that either looks at a homeless person and goes, "Oh, I'm going to give them some money because I feel bad for them," and then doesn't care about homeless people outside of that and doesn't care about like getting to the root of the problem, like dealing with like mental health issues and substance abuse issues, or you're the kind of person that looks at a homeless person and goes like, it's their fault. Like, that's the comparative, because once that baby's out, if they have an abysmal life, you don't care anymore. Like, it's out of sight, out of mind, and this makes you feel uncomfortable, and then you legislate things because you're uncomfortable. But the sad truth is that abortion is a necessary evil, and I'm really not trying to be hyperbolic. The decision to cut abortion access is quite literally detrimental to society. Like, I'm not sure. I don't get like hyperbolic, but like I do genuinely feel like it is detrimental to society. It's going to like legitimately hurt. It's going to legitimately hurt our society. I'm going to explain to you why. But what I'm trying to establish to you guys is that like this comes down to the way that you feel. But realistically speaking, I truly believe that I'm somebody. I'm somebody who comes from a place where I understand that there are hard choices in life, and hard choices aren't always the easiest choices to make. Right? And you have two. You can either ban abortion or you can allow abortion to exist. Okay? If you allow abortion, there's a lot of positives here. Right? Well, first of all, women get to choose whether to have a baby or not. But more than that, well, that's what it is. Women get to choose whether to have a baby or not. They can choose if they're in the stage of life to have a child. And frankly, like, yeah, I don't think people should be getting abortions. But conservatives also don't give a shit about any measure that would reduce people's, like, having abortions. Like, for instance, conservatives don't really care, or Republicans don't care about contraceptive, like spreading more contraceptive use, right? And like I'm saying conservatives because like you vote Democrat if like, you don't like vote in a way where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm going to vote somebody. Democrat isn't necessarily progressive. It's still somewhat like moderate, slightly conservative, you know. But like Republicans don't care about providing like contraceptives to people. They don't care about proper sexual health education, which is a real thing, man. Like, not for nothing, but you have a lot of kids when you teach abstinence, like abstinence-focused sexual health education to kids, they fear sex, but they're still so horny that they fuck eventually, and then once they fucking realize that they didn't die from an STD, because that's what you learn. I learned, oh, you're gonna get an STD. Don't have sex. You're gonna get an STD. Oh. Then they're like, oh, I didn't get an STD. They just start fucking like unsafely. Like, there's so many measures that we could take, but like. Again, like Republicans aren't for it. And this isn't me trying to dunk on fucking conservatives or Republicans, but like this is just the sad truth. Like, I just want you to know. But here's the reality, okay? We have two choices. We live in a society that allows women, individuals, families really, to have the conversation about whether they do or don't want to have an abortion after they do something, which is usually a mistake, right? And to be honest with you, you know, we all have the societal construct of like what point is too far. Personally, I'm a first trimester guy. That's me personally. I can understand second trimester, right? Which I can understand like second trimester. You know, but I'm a first trimester guy. You know, third in case there's like a really big complication with the mother or the child. A lot of difficult choices to make. Right, which is generally the law in each state. Is like you only get a third or the second or even third term abortion if there's like a really like it could be a threat to the mother, the child. You know, there could be some kind of like viability issue in the fetus. There's a lot of like unfortunate situations, and we can have that conversation about like how far do you think and why, right? But we understand that like a fetus, everybody understands that a fetus does not have personhood, and like yeah, it's a social construct, but like there's a reason for it. And the biggest reason it's not developed, it doesn't have a conscious. LOL, just wear a condom. Okay, like cool. It doesn't have a conscious. It's not developed. It hasn't left the womb. And I know people be like, yeah, but what about people that are in comas? They were birthed. I don't know. Like, you guys can't remove nuance the second that it's convenient for you. And here's the thing. And let me actually get to my point. I'm sorry. The point here is that we can either, here's the reality. If we ban abortion, which is where we're going, if we ban abortion, there's 1 million babies who are aborted every year in America. Let's say 100,000 of those babies are birthed. We know that those babies are disproportionately going to be poor and are going to need to be on welfare systems, whether it's like individual welfare programs like food stamps or something for the mother and the father, or if they're going to be in the foster care system. The foster care system is horrible, is riddled with abuse. It's just the reality. Overburdening those systems is going to cause us to bleed money, which means we're going to have to cut welfare programs, which is going to mean that we're not going to have safety nets and our society is going to collapse. I just don't know what else to tell you. I know it's like, oh, that's so horrible. It's evil. No, it's not. Okay, I'm not saying go around killing fucking babies. Like, no, but, you know, first trimester, you know, do what you got to do. You know, abort the fetus. I'm not saying kill babies, but like, here's your preventative method. Give women specifically the individual ability to make a decision on whether they want to have the baby or not. If you could prove to me that like when I fucking come in a girl and my sperm hits that egg, that a soul is birthed, that it will be damned to hell if there's an abortion, I'm pro-life. Oh, prove it. Just prove that. But there's nothing there. So we get to have this conversation about why. Just prove that. The problem, like, but there's nothing there. And again, it's a sensitivity issue. We care a lot here. Like, you know, people who are pro-life, they care a lot here. They care from conception to birth. But after this point, I have seen no evidence that you really care. You say you care, but how do you vote? What do you platform on? What's your advocacy like? Your advocacy is to close your eyes when you don't like when it's something sucks like that. And we all do it. We all do that in different ways, but like be honest about it. There's no once the baby's born, it's like, yeah, well, it's a parent's responsibility, even if they die slowly, even if it'll fucking destroy our welfare systems. And like I'm just saying. Not every choice in life is easy. Not every choice in life is simple. You should know that. You're an adult. You know that. You know that you've made decisions in your life that other people looked at and said that's not the right decision, but you know it was the right decision because you know your life better than other people. That's just the reality, man. And like I know it's uncomfortable, but like this is one of those things where like it is a negative impact on society. And like it's time to have that conversation. And I don't say it because I'm like, haha, I love it. This is so much fun. Nobody's saying that. Some people are, and I get it. And you know what? You could probably have a conversation about how we've kind of in the past 2 to 4 years gone like really far left to a point where like this is society's rebound to go farther right. But like these extremes aren't good for society. And it's happening so quickly. I know a lot of people will say like, well, just move out of your state. It's not that easy, and you know it. The just move argument is it's just so silly. And you have to know that. You have to know that you can't just pick up and move financially, but even just emotionally. Hey, just move out of the place you grew up. Why? Listen, again, I get it. I get why you guys are pro-life. I do. I get it. It sucks, but like the reality is that like based on all the factors that I brought up, like it's time for us to kind of like take a deep breath and make the tough decisions in life. And if you're not willing to make tough decisions, I think that's really unfortunate. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and another special shout out to all my Patreon and Twitch subs. If you'd like to support this channel further than you already have by just watching the video alone, go down to the links below where you can sub on my Patreon, which will allow you to get your name on this beautiful black wall. Or you can go to the Twitch page and you can actually use a free Amazon Prime sub, if you have Amazon Prime, to subscribe. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.